There we go. And that's the sound to tell you that we are now live. And welcome everyone to Sisters on God podcast. And we are on episode number 10. I am the cat's meow.
Authentic. Mm.
That's the beautiful, authentic sister, you guys. Did you see her blushing? Oh,
No.
oh. So we had some little things going on last week, and we just wasn't able to get into the studio. But we're back on track now. So with no delays, we are going to jump right on into this one because this is pretty good, you guys. So I got an email from a wife, and I'm just going to read what she said. She says, "Hello, ladies. I'm a married woman of 8 years. I have a 14-year-old daughter who's bloomed very well. Mm. She's very respectful and disciplined. Good girl, you know. But no matter what she wears, the endowed, I think she's trying to say that she's very well endowed. her body, her body is very well endowed and on display. Not in a bad way," she says. "I hope you understand what I'm saying. We'll figure it out." It seems like I'm always catching him looking at her. She's not his child, by the way. I'm just wondering if it's my imagination or insecurities of this beautiful young woman as I watch the years add on to my body and face. Oh, we're getting in the dirt of it now. I don't want to think this way, but I can't help it. So, my question to you, ladies, since you're both moms, is this normal? Are there other women like me? Now, do I feel that gut feeling of my husband is up to no good? No, I don't. I just don't know how to handle my feelings and what I think I see. Signed, Curious Mom.
Mm.
Hmm.
Should have let you read this to me before.
That was packed
How
full of
long? How
good.
long? How long a relationship? How
Eight
long?
years. 8 years they've been married. The daughter's 14. So, I mean, that doesn't mean that the daughter couldn't be his, but she says the daughter's not his. Um,
So then he would have watched her grow.
he, for the most part, they just,
Yeah,
she
eight
didn't
years,
say
and she's
whether,
14.
yep, she didn't say whether they had already been seeing each other and they were already in a relationship, which I'm sure. Probably he came along. I'm guessing probably he came along when she was a little girl. So yes, for the
Right.
most part, he
He
has
watched her
watched her
grow.
grow up.
Hmm.
Yep. Um,
She has always noticed this. That's the part too.
she doesn't say
Okay. She started this more because the child is growing voluptuous.
yes, yes. And then the child, and she's made it clear that the child isn't doing anything.
Right,
She's
right,
not, she's not walking around the house, dressed
right.
half naked and stuff. It's just that she's just gotta, and I understand that because when I was 14, I was golly.
But I mean, look at my daughters.
Yes, yes.
They've been like that.
And I thought that was, this is a good one because we both have the
Yeah, but there's
experience.
there's there's questions though. Was she abused?
She doesn't
Then
say.
hear that. Yeah, that would, because if she feels like it's an insecurity on her part, normally when you're a victim, that's where that comes from.
True.
I
Hmm.
I know because yeah, that's where that will come from.
Well, we're gonna dig deep.
That's where that will come from.
So
And
let me tell
okay.
my story while you're doing what you're doing.
Go
My
ahead.
mom because I was very voluptuous. I know I don't look like it now because I got into a lot of stress with my first husband, and the first thing that left was all the voluptuousness that I had. And my mom ended up going to counseling because she felt like my stepdad was looking at me, or she just kind of thought that there were things there that wasn't. Like, I was so innocent, I didn't know. I just remember going with her to counseling, to therapists, and sitting outside and hearing, because I was ear hustling, and hearing that my mom was going to counseling because of me. And I remember at 14 just being distraught, and that I wasn't doing anything. I didn't do anything disrespectful or anything to, you know, try and make my dad look at me. Like, I was so innocent. I didn't have those kind of
Of
thoughts.
course not. Like, why would you? No.
Right. So that whole situation for me at that age was very hard for me to understand. It
What was happening?
was hard for me to understand why my mom felt that way about me. Um, I don't know what was going on with her and my stepdad, but it still was a lot. And so I hope that this 14-year-old girl isn't going through what I experienced.
More than likely, because a mother feeling that way, and obviously it's within her mind. And I mean,
And that's what she's saying. Is it her insecurities? Is
yeah,
it
and the fact that she states that says that she already have issues that way,
Yeah. Yeah.
but because she don't know where to place what's happening, because you kind of don't want to feel it's you, and you
Right.
actually don't really want to feel it's your child, and you definitely don't want to feel it's the man that you're with that's
Mm-hmm.
actually doing something.
Right.
Because I know trauma, okay, trauma of that sort, like when you're in a relationship, if you were a victim yourself, you look for things, it is just, well, some people do. Some people can go different direction, but for me, I was a hovering type of mom because of
Mm-hmm.
all that.
Mm-hmm.
I never once looked at my child to be. I look at whoever was coming in. Yeah, I got I gotta see
Well,
you, feel
we
you. Know, I
have that
got to do
protective
that part.
thing in us
Yeah,
because of
my
our
level
experience.
of protectiveness is on top.
Yeah.
It don't be no mediocre. And once I get a sense of reassuredness, matter of fact, for one of the reasons why I was never the type of person to entertain, even when I was separated from my husband, my ex-husband at the time, to entertain men in my house.
Hmm.
Because I don't trust men. Because
That's
the
right.
only way you're even in there is because I trust you
That's right.
or feel you out enough to let you in there.
Yeah.
So
Like, there weren't random men running through
no
my house.
hell. When
Mm-mm.
I see people do that, I was taken aback for one of the reasons why I didn't believe in sleepovers and all this other else
Hmm.
extra curriculum. I
Yeah.
didn't do them because
Yeah.
I don't trust the people. Because
Yeah.
it ain't only just male that do that. Yeah, females do too. So
Yes, you do.
I don't
You
do
sure
all that.
do.
And then
Yep.
you have kids who have gone through that who do that too. So
Right.
don't do that.
Yep.
So I am already overprotective. So and my discernment will turn up 10 times more. So
Hmm.
I clear the air before I even let anything be a part of my household.
Yeah.
So for her to be feeling this way, something is wrong.
Well, I think she kind of says it in here because she
Yeah.
brings up the fact of her age and watching her body, go through the
And
aging
that
process.
that's uncomfortable that she
That's
said that.
uncomfortable as you're looking at your youth now being in your child, and your youthful years is behind you, and the insecurities kicking in from that.
But that's where I'm having the problem. She needs therapy
The
because no
mom,
matter how old my ass is getting, I ain't mad at my kids to hell. No, because I understand this is
right?
gonna fail, and a lot of times parents do compete with their children too. I see women
Yes,
compete with their
yes,
daughters.
yes.
As if to say, you don't know what age group you belong to.
That,
Honey, that's not your generations, But I am not beating on any woman that does that. What I would tell them is speak to someone because it is not really, well, me speaking, I don't think that's healthy. I don't.
I don't think it's healthy either, and I think that she's struggling within herself.
Yes. And the
That
fact that she's honest enough to
yes,
feel it in herself is
yep,
number one. It's the
that's right,
first step.
that's
That's a
right.
good thing.
Yep,
So I would say, you know, seek some help so you can understand how you're feeling within,
mm-hmm,
to understand what it is that you're feeling. You know what
right,
I mean? Because if we
right,
don't know what we're feeling inside, it gets confusing and we don't, we're doing things, it's reactive things
mm-hmm,
that the placement is not right. Because now it's a three-way thing. You, your child, and the man.
right.
Who is the problem? You know what I mean?
Who at least she thinks is the problem,
It,
and
there you
what
go.
is this husband slash stepdad is completely innocent in this,
There you go.
because
And it could break up a relationship as well as also
it could
rob this
just
child of a
yes,
father figure that's probably a good man to her
yep,
because of the mom's insecurity and mental state, you
yep,
know?
yep, and it's just going
So,
to get worse as this little
oh
girl
yes,
gets
it will.
older,
And
you
then
know.
now, just using your story, where now
Mhm.
you feel like you were doing something wrong when you, the child, don't even understand the
Yes.
predicament that you're placed in and
Mm-mm.
how that is. That's just not a nice thing.
It's
But I
not.
understand it because I understand a lot of parents, especially us Gen X's parents, did not they didn't have anywhere to turn like we
Right,
have gotten
right.
chances to
Because
turn to
times have
someone.
changed.
Yeah, there you go.
Mhm.
And they didn't get the chance to heal. Some of them just had to
Right,
live and
right.
become,
Yep.
without any. And then you remember back then, it's children seen, not heard. Who the hell you was going to talk to? Don't
No,
nobody listen. Hell,
no,
we really didn't even have much ears either.
no, not at
It's
all.
just that we were more coming into a time where people talked a little bit more,
Right, because we definitely
and
grew up in a time where you didn't
it
discuss what
started to
went on in your
change. It
family.
started to change in
Yes.
our
Yep.
time.
Yeah.
We really weren't listened to a lot, but little things started to change,
We
you
started
know?
speaking out.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
There you go.
We got tired of it
Our
all.
mouth stopped being closed. So we started to get some work in.
Mhm. Yep.
And even if there were a little bit, there was something enough for us to still be the generation that are the survivors.
That's right.
Like we hardcore survivors,
We
you know?
strong with it.
So that is my take on that. Like that's a s- that's a sad one, really. Because
It is,
I can't beat her up. I understand.
and
Can't beat her up.
that's not what we're here to do anyway. We're here to listen to the
No
problems and give our life
perspective. But when I say beat up, not meaning because some people could go in hard on that
Oh yeah,
because
yes.
we're
This in
talking about
the
a
hands of
child.
another person.
We're
Yes,
talking about a
absolutely.
child that's gonna be at the hand of
They're gonna
someone.
for it. Yep, absolutely.
So that's the part that I'm talking about. I
Hmm.
cannot attack her on that, even though it feels some type of way to me for this young child, if
Yep,
she's not doing anything. Now,
yep.
you do have young girls who are promiscuous now. You
Woo!
do got them.
But she would have said that. I would
She
think
would
that
have
she
said
would
it.
have said
And
that
then that would have
sooner.
changed the narrative,
Oh,
It would have changed the
completely.
perspective.
Yeah,
And if the man was a dog, she would have said more about that too.
absolutely. Yep. But what
Because you
she
would have
really
seen other
focused on was
signs.
more of her insecurities and
Mhm. And the fact that
her.
she feels this way, and
Yep.
the also the part we're talking about watching herself get older, and I do a lot of women even on TikTok going through. That's why some women are dressing skanky, and even as grown as they are, you still. And then again, sissy, it's also part of all the things that we didn't get either.
Right.
So
Right.
you almost start living your youth now because
Hmm.
we didn't get, we weren't allowed to have done it before.
That's right.
But there is also always a proper way to do things, you know?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you have children in your house, I mean, hey, to each his own. You could do what you do, child. Don't, I'm never the one to tell anyone that. But because we're raising children or impressionable,
Yep.
it is our duty to do it a little bit better,
A little bit
you know?
better. Yep.
So then you're gonna turn on and blame everybody else because your child this or your child that when you are the main factor in this thing.
Yep.
Can't blame everybody for this. You ain't making it no better.
Sorry if you hear that sound.
No,
That's
I
my
did not.
cat pulling up.
You know, so
You know, Mom, the best thing that I can tell you is that
talk to someone.
there's confusion inside of you that needs resolving, and there's nothing wrong with the thoughts that when I say nothing wrong, I mean you're having human emotions,
Hmm?
and you need to find a way to
Address them. Yeah.
peel the onion off, peel how's that go? Peel the layers off
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
onion and find
Talk to
out
someone.
at the core of
Hmm.
it, why is it that you
Good,
feel
good.
like this
Hmm.
is happening in your household?
Hmm.
Because if you don't get a hold on this, like we
You're
just
gonna lose her too.
this could be so
Because she's getting
destructive.
older, and your
Yes.
insecurity is just gonna get
And the
way more worse.
voluptuousness is just gonna get even more.
It's gonna get worse, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
So
and
why you realize that something is off right now, I would tell you to just talk to someone so you can understand yourself,
yes,
and at least
yep,
put the placement. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
We are not counselors.
Uh-uh. Uh, I play one on TV.
We play one on TV.
But yeah, just don't let this child, and don't, take it out on her. Just try to understand. And also, at times, if you find yourself, because of what you're feeling, lashing out at her, because that will happen too.
Yes, it will,
If you
and
put on
she won't
something that
even
you
realize
feel,
that she's doing it.
if you find that you're doing this, and you know, yeah, that's why she needs the help,
Yeah,
because I'm gonna
yeah.
say talk to the daughter, but how can you talk to the daughter when you don't even know where you are here? You got
I
to
don't
know
think
where you
that's
are
what
to
needs
even
to
do
start
that.
is with the daughter. Maybe after she figures some things out within
Then
herself, then
there
she
you
can
go.
pull her daughter to the
Huh?
side and
Uh-huh.
explain
Because
to
you
her.
probably have done it already.
I'm
Probably have
sure.
done it already.
I'm sure. Yes.
Blaming her for
Because
stuff,
how
and
long had it could have been going on before she brought it to us?
yeah,
You know?
yeah. And
And
she's
thank
only
you
gonna
for
get
bringing
more.
it
If she's
to us.
starting already and she's 14, it's gonna get more.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's gonna get worse for you. So
Mhm.
definitely find you. I would like to tell you to find a pastor, but in today's time, in the way the churches are, unfortunately, our
That
shepherds
was not. They're
are
not leading very
destroying the
well these
sheep.
days.
So
Uh,
I am a God fearing woman. I don't do religion. I worship God Almighty. So what I'm saying to you is to definitely seek God in prayer and ask for
the
uh,
direction to find someone to help you.
to lift this confusion that's going on inside your head, because it does sound like it's just what's going on in you. I don't You didn't say how old you are. Um per se, but to the reference that you're getting older and you're looking at the youthfulness of your daughter lets me know that you are up in years, and you could be struggling with that aspect, because for a
Mhm.
lot of us women, the getting older process, it becomes difficult. You know, we were just talking about this. You go through stress and anything. For me, I can get sick and I got my hair coming out in gobs. I'm looking at my body changing. I'm looking at things that aren't the same anymore.
Mhm.
So I couldn't imagine if I had a beautiful, voluptuous 14-year-old in my household and I'm struggling inside of myself as the age process takes its course, to see this beautiful young woman and the reflection of what you used to be. And it's just hormones and your feelings of getting older. And I hope that there you find solitude and peace within your household, your husband, and more than anything, your daughter. As a daughter who's gone through it, I hope that you find a way to heal her of what's going on too. And the baby said, "When?"
Yeah. Yeah, that's
So,
what needs to be done, you know. Because they also a little bit of insecurity too, sometimes lack of self-love, you know, and
and they, hey, what if that's going on in the marriage? Well, you know, because what happens over time with marriages, people tend to pull away, and they're not communicating and telling the mate that they're missing something that you're not giving to them anymore, and that's a snowball effect all in itself.
yeah. But the thing is though, even with that, that's true what you just said. I'm struggling with the fact that this is how you feel about your child. That's why I know that's something that's deeper. It is deeper
Yeah.
because, and I'm not going to say because I don't feel that way. I'm just thinking as a mom that's aging also, I see the changes. But I know, regardless, yes, we've spoke about, when you want your individual to make you feel good about yourself. That's just the added something you want.
Right.
That's and even when you hear me talk about this or fat or it's just the outside. I know I have brought myself to a place enough. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Mm-hmm.
when people be nasty about it and
Yes.
be, trying to
Yeah.
really just, they're trying to hurt you. That's really where my problem is.
Mm-hmm.
It's the
Mm-hmm.
you trying to hurt me. Again, maybe because the way you're aging too, because it happens for us too, as
Right.
grown people.
That's right.
That
That's right.
insecurity that you're getting older, and
And that's a real thing.
it is a
And
real
there's
thing.
nothing to be ashamed
It's not.
of
It's not a
feeling that
shame.
way.
The only thing that's really the problem is because of the age.
Right.
That's the part that really
That's that's
makes it
right.
uncomfortable
Yep.
because you want this child to be able to talk to you about beauty stuff and y'all still feel good about each other. This
Mm-hmm.
too will allow you to feel good inside yourself, even though you're
Right.
getting older. Because
Right.
when your daughter is able to come to you, see, this is where the disconnect. Disconnect is, when you don't have someone, so you don't want to rob her that, because it
Right.
also makes you feel good about yourself.
That's right.
Like today, when I was done putting on, a little something, something,
Mm-hmm. Because that's
and
what she did
I
first.
called well, I had to call, she called me on the iPhone. And she said, "Oh my, you're so pretty."
You
And it
sound
made me feel good. And I don't accept that very well. Um, and this is, oh, thank you. And I'm like, wow. But the thing is, I have taught my children to feel good about themselves.
That's right. Confidence. Absolutely.
I didn't get it.
Mm-hmm. Hold your head
And I
up.
realized what it did to me not getting it.
Yes.
You think I'm going to rob them that?
Yep.
No.
Right.
So, like this mother, she probably didn't get it either. So now this is why we feel how we feel. But don't let her lose her chance
Mm-hmm.
to be able to feel good about herself and know her mama feel good about her. Because in
Yeah,
return, she'll feel the same about you, you
because
know?
what's going to happen is she's going to go into a shell knowing that her
You feel some type of way, but girl, tell
exactly.
me, at
Yes.
this age, I do that.
Yep.
We spoke about that.
Yeah.
To the
Yep.
point that if I feel like I look good, I literally would go take a
Hi.
bath and take all that shit off. You
Yeah.
know, it's because it's
Yeah.
psychological. And we don't want that cycle to be a cycle.
That's right.
So now that you realize that something is amiss,
Mm-hmm.
check it. You
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, however you need to go about it, or start enhancing yourself to and start feeling good
See,
about
how
you.
about that? How
Yeah,
about just investing back into
into
yourself?
you. You
And
know, we can't
boys,
pull back some of the shit that's here. We can't.
listen, people always talk about the youthfulness being the best part of life,
Hmm.
and you're in your best years. But you know what? I enjoy my years in my 50s. Yeah, I don't like that my hair is falling out. And I don't like,
The grays and the
certain
wrinkles,
sagging that I see on my body. But I work at being able to look in the mirror and feel good about
and
myself
accept myself.
and
That's what
accept
I had to
myself,
do.
because this is the process. This is a part of life. And you don't just take the young years as good, but the old years as good as well, because there's
Hmm.
so much more
Yeah.
that you learn about yourself as you get older.
Hmm.
Your mindset changes and you actually start to calm down. There's a lot of benefits to being older. It's not just about the youthfulness.
Hmm. And
It's
the thing
not.
is,
Go ahead, Sissy.
no, and the thing is about thought process too. When you
Yeah,
think it, even if you didn't feel it, once you start training your mind to accept some stuff, it
yeah.
makes it so much easier on how you see yourself, you
Yes.
know?
Yeah.
Because it's not just a look to, it's a aura,
It
it's a
is.
being.
That's
It's a
right.
being.
That's
Beauty
right.
is being. It's a
Yep.
being. You
Yep.
know, I go in a room, shoot, I don't think I'm all that, but I've learned to walk in that room
Look in that mug
like it's
like,
all that.
I'm here.
You know, like it's all that. And the more I do this, guess what happens though when you
The
start
more
doing that?
confidence you build in
You
yourself.
start you start seeing it, even if it ain't there, and somebody
That's
say,
right.
"Oh, look at
That's
her, she
right.
look."
Because you're illuminating
Yes,
yourself. Absolutely.
yep. What a man thinketh, so is
Right.
he.
Right.
How
Because
about that?
when we taught, when we didn't have a lot, say you didn't have a lot of clothes, you only had a couple of pieces of clothes.
Wash that mess and press
You
it out.
washed it, you ironed it, and you made that sucker look just as good as it possibly could. It's the same perspective with ourselves.
Yep.
Fix yourself up. If you are
Feel good about yourself.
make
Yep.
your see my the one thing my mom did was she told me when you're depressed and you don't feel good or when you're sick, and I told my daughters this as well. Get up, comb your hair, put some makeup on, put on something nice to wear. She says, trust me, you'll feel better. It may just be a little bit, but it's enough to
But it's
get
better than
you over
nothing.
that
Mhm.
hump. She also
Better
taught me
than nothing.
shopping.
Hmm. I remember during COVID time when I was going into depression and I felt I was, oh my God, that's the lowest I've ever felt in my life.
Hmm.
I couldn't, a matter of fact, that's when I found out what anxiety was because I didn't know. I knew depression, but I wasn't faced with anxiety. And anxiety, oh, I don't like that one.
Yeah, I don't either.
And, oof, oh. And I remember I was selling jewelry at the time. And so I had to start wearing the jewelry that I was selling.
Right.
And even though we weren't going anywhere, that's when I used to get dolled up. 'Cause we couldn't go out there. And I said to myself, I had to fight for me. So I
Yeah.
used to just dress, and then I didn't wear makeup back then. I
Hmm.
just started to, you
Hmm.
know. If I had ever thought about that, I'd have been a pro right now, but I didn't. But I would put
Not
on my
me.
jewelry and I would dress up nice and I realized it's almost like you're striking yourself. It's so anything practice becomes perfect for real.
Yes, it
If you
does.
start putting it in,
Yep.
it becomes you.
Yep. And you'll begin
And
to
you
see
didn't even have to
yourself
baby
differently.
step.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. You know, yeah, one step at a time, you know?
Yep.
But while you do that, while you try to, because I know when you're mentally not okay, it's hard. So
It
just
is.
get that help. Get that help to start opening your, because this is
That's
your
right.
first step to
That's
doing
right.
so. You
Yes.
wrote that letter. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people don't.
That's
A lot of
yes.
people don't tell anyone that's what they're feeling.
Yep.
And that's when you hide the secret for the enemy. Because there's an enemy in there that's making you do
Absolutely.
this. It's an
Yes.
enemy.
Because nothing,
It's
God is not
stealing.
the
It's
author of
stealing something
confusion.
from you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then divide and conquer. That's
Yep.
what he do.
Yes.
No, you
Yep.
got this, girl. You got
Yes.
this. Just do
Don't
what
let
you
it
need to
come in
do.
your home and steal
Don't
your
let it take
peace.
you. You got to let the enemy exit because
Take
it's a
him out.
demonic sense. It's
It
not
is.
a good
It
thing.
is. Yep.
Not a good thing because
Yep.
it's gonna cause so much confusion and stuff not gonna go right, and it's you're gonna be the one losing. So you
Right.
might lose the man, and you might lose your daughter,
You might lose both.
and all for what? Because of your mind.
Not worth it.
Yeah.
Fix
The
your mind.
mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Change your
Don't
mindset.
waste that bit.
For sure. Begin to look at things through a different perspective.
Perspective.
Always be changing when you got those negative thoughts running through your mind.
Switch it up.
It takes literally 3 seconds for a thought to change from a thought to a feeling,
Mhm.
a feeling to an action. You literally have 3 seconds to readjust yourself.
Mhm.
And it's practice. It is practice.
It,
Everything about life is
everything is practice.
so
Everything.
you're never going to stop learning and practicing good
You
habits
never do.
as
Yeah.
long as you're on this earth. Absolutely.
Mhm.
So that's our advice to you, and we really do thank you that you had enough c- courage
Courage. Yes.
to
Because that's the
write
first
into
step to
us.
anything. Yes.
Yep.
You did good. And I applaud you for that
Absolutely. We
too.
commend you for this,
Yeah.
and we really hope that we've given you some good sound advice, which we usually do. prayer, prayer, prayer
Yes.
conquers a lot of
Number one.
things. Battle.
And
You
then
want
take it
to
from
battle in the
there.
spirit before you battle in the flesh.
Yeah. Mhm.
So, good luck to you. We'll be praying for you and your husband and your daughter as well. And this has come to the end of this one. That was fast. So, everyone, if anyone out there, you got something, you got an issue that you're dealing with, and you need a little perspective on some things, hit us up. We got you. We're Sisters on God. You can email us at Sisters on God as well. At some point, I will have a phone number listed to where that if you want to call in and leave a voicemail, that you can do that as well. Because I do get it. Everybody's not about writing, and that some people just like to verbally talk. So I am working on that part as well. But for now, you can email us at Sisters on God. If you have a business and you would like to have some soft selling done, we can do that too. Contact us at sistersongod.net. Email's right down there at the bottom. There it seems like there's something else I'm forgetting. Maybe that was it.
Soft advertisement.
Yeah, the soft
Oh,
sell.
you did that?
I said soft sell, soft advertisement.
Uh,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. We can help you out is what we saying. So we thank you for coming and joining us for another episode of Sisters on God. Join us back again Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Who knows what's going to be said? Who knows what someone's going to write into us? So you all take care. Thanks for being here with us. Um, and we'll see you next time. All right.
pizza.